start with saying we're very happy to present this plan here today. Plan written by Lenny together with us. And so from our design background, we're very happy to, we enjoyed very much applying the hands-on methods of design to this social innovation challenge.
So maybe it's good to start to introduce who is this voluntary organization, Gioco, Immagine and Parole, that we've been calling Gioco in the project. So they're based in San Giovanni in Naples, and they use culture to educate young people, ultimately with the goal to develop social responsibility and to make Naples a better place. And our plan is to make more of the time, the effort and the energy of their volunteers. And on the picture you see a few of them, and we've been happy to work with many of the people in the picture. And many of them are actually here today as well in the room.
So, we've been talking quite extensively with Gioco already, and through Skype. And this is basically what they find as being one of the major problems, saying culture is the only power we have to change the city and fix illegality. If we educate people, we avoid that they go into illegality, and society doesn't have to recover this situation. It seems a simple thing, but we don't succeed, because investment in culture is considered losing money. So, I mean, we all know that by now access to public funding is about zero. So, with our plan, what we set out to do is to basically create new ways of doing social business for Gioco, together with Gioco.
Yeah, so we thought, okay, we need a big idea first. So for us, the question is how to get more out of the time and effort of the volunteers. And the big idea we had is we think it's a good idea to move from an Addison way of doing volunteering, of co-production, to something you could call a wiki way of co-production. From the first one, with a very localized network of people who do a lot of work, to a much bigger and more diverse network where a lot of different people bring in more diverse contributions, and that could be financial and non-financial, of course. So more people, more different people, more contributions, and it's more resource. But yeah, Gioco would provide space and the format and communication platforms for that. Oh, sorry, this is mine too. So how would that work? At the moment, Gioco is doing many different kinds of activities, and some of these activities are profitable activities. And the money they make with that, they use to finance the social activities that they cannot charge for, like social activities with kids in hospitals, for example. But very interestingly, they do a lot of cultural activities, and we think these activities should be able to pay for themselves. And in this project, we want to first focus on those activities and find, because there's a lot of value there for a much wider group of people than the people who are involved now. And so we're looking for ways to monetize this value, the social value as well.
So, to quickly go through it, if they set up, for example, a project right now, then there's an idea, and then there goes a lot of time, let's say, wasted in site activities, which are record funding proposals, waiting, etc. And only a small part of the process is really spent with the high energy that's there in Gioco to produce, and so a lot of time is lost there.
Yeah, and you see a lot of the low points, which means that costs enthusiasm. So this is ideally what another process would look like. So we would start with different ideas, and some of these ideas wouldn't. So we would share these ideas with a bigger group of people, and some of these ideas would not get much support, and then we would stop putting energy into them. See the first idea. But other ideas, they would be shared, and they would gather support, and they would be improved, and they would be contributed to, and yeah. So what you see here is more points that actually increase the enthusiasm of volunteers, and the part of the process where many people are involved is a lot bigger than in the previous one. Yeah, and involvement is sustained as well.
So how do we think this will happen? What we would like to do is take 3 practical steps together with Gioco, with the aim to reach a wider audience, and we would like to do it with an existing production in progress of Gioco. And what we basically want to do is open up, try to find ways together with Gioco to open up their activities by means of free online or offline platforms, to find more people to do more work with less time and with less effort. So, for example, through crowdsourcing, App Allowance is already an existing platform, or also do offline performances to get in touch with audiences more. Then we think an advisory team would make a lot of sense to start thinking beyond the individual projects and to give us some sustaining strategic advice also. And of course, we want to evaluate and see what works and what doesn't work for the next step.
Yeah, so working with an existing theatre production that they are already working on, piggybacking on that one, by about December, okay, that should be ready, and then we can start experimenting with different ways to make money out of that.
Since in this plan, in step 2, the experimenting with ways to monetize, we want to evaluate what works and what doesn't, and collecting evidence to, since this is where the seed funding ends, to collect evidence to start with step 3, and that is packaging and repeating what we have learned to be able to use that, for example, in commission with your clients, and also share methods to communicate the good things Gioco does and increase the credibility.
Yeah, and we're not going to do this alone. So a lot of the work would be done by the team from Gioco that's already working on the theatre production, and we would set up a design team within Gioco, some people to work on that. We would bring in our role would be to provide the setup and the inspiration, and then there's like a whole lot of other people who we think it's very realistic. And actually, some of these people have already been involved in writing the plan. Some people from our network, and then we've met a lot of people this week who we understand it's very feasible. There are within the partners who are part of this competition who would be happy to contribute to that as well. Yeah, so thank you very much.